Hey y'all.
Hey y'all.
It's the Thaunties. So it must be Thauntie Thursday.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for tuning in for another week of the Thaunties. I'm your co-host Fifi.
I'm Mika J.
And I'm Foxy.
And look who it is.
Honey.
Hey boss. Yes, we got a real media team. Chea K is in the building. Kicking it with the Thaunties. Chea, thanks for kicking it with us.
Well, thank y'all for having me. You know,
Appreciate it.
showed up, they fed me a little something, gave me a little something to drink, and some free entertainment. I just want to throw that out there. I can't tell y'all what it was, but it was free entertainment.
I always say we need to have the camera rolling and have people pay for the pre-show.
For the
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So y'all got nervous. I usually don't get nervous. I was telling the girls, like, got a real media person in the building today. So, you know, it's hard to interview somebody that does this for a living in real life.
Every day.
So we gotta be on our P's and Q's.
Yeah. So she'll be like, Well, again, so thanks for being on the show. And so, you know, I asked, and she watched the show before she said she had caught the show. She saw our red carpet from the Boba Awards.
Ah.
But when you heard Thauntie, Chea, what did you think?
Oh, I got tickled. I got real tickled because I said, well, I knew what it was. I said, okay, I like it. You know, I'll be 50 this year, so I'm like, okay, because I do wear my auntie badge proudly. It's really weird when you backstage with some young actor and they call you auntie.
I know,
like,
right?
Why? Look, I thought you was cute, but since she's saying auntie, never mind who's your mama, what school she go to, never mind. So, but yeah, I was like, I really like it. I like it. It's got a little sizzle, so I gotta get the backstory on it though.
Yeah, and so that's what, and so usually, so now when the young fellas, as you call them, say auntie to me, I say it's Thauntie, because it is a difference.
It's a big
you know?
difference.
Yeah, and for y'all home, y'all probably saying, well, what is
it?
Thauntie? And then, so this past week, we had to host a party, and I didn't know that the term Thauntie was controversial, so there are some women that don't think Thauntie is a good thing to be.
Okay.
But a Thauntie is just a term of endearment for a mature, confident woman with a turn up in her spirit.
Okay.
And that's what we do.
Okay.
Yeah, so, you know, responsible, done reared our children.
We didn't rear them.
Reared productive children.
That's all right.
Yeah, she doesn't have, what do you do to spouses? Nurtured spouses. Divorced spouses.
We went from nurturing to divorce. Okay.
A coddle spouse.
We done ran the gamut, baby. So we got some mouths on us.
Don't say that. I don't have no mouths on me. I don't know what that means.
What type of women would think it's what it
I don't know. She said it too.
That took a left turn.
And she got a look too like, with the mouth.
You been in the game a long time.
Don't say mouths.
You been in the game a long time.
I got some old hoes, but you know, that's all it is.
Hoes equals mouths.
No, it doesn't. Just because you was a hoe don't mean you did nothing.
What?
Them was my hoes. That don't mean I was doing nothing with them.
Oh, so you wasn't they hoe, they was your hoe.
There you go.
Okay, well, there you go.
And now we have it.
There you go.
So basically, you was a hoe wrangler.
Oh, yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
See you on later. Going back to the pasture.
So, Chea, this is what we do every Thursday. We get together, have a couple cocktails, and talk about hot topics. You know, just joke around on each other. Have lots of jokes with each other. And we really just try to, you know, empower people. And hopefully somebody is watching that can see through our foolishness and our shenanigans and really, you know, use it to empower their life. So that's what we like to do every week.
Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. So
Everybody needs a good laugh.
Everybody needs.
Everyone needs to laugh.
You got to laugh. You got to laugh. So introduce yourself to the people.
Well, hey dolls, I'm your girl Chea K, and of course you hear me every day midday. I've got you from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Magic 101.3. But outside of that, this is actually my 10th year in radio. My background is marketing and television and radio. I do promotions, bring up the concerts, the festivals. We do it all. I host. My passion is always to have a mic in front of me because that's what I love to do. Now, one of my big concerns is always giving back. So my give back is called Loving on Louisville. I try to always amplify and, you know, just showcase folks who are really out here actually really doing something, because most times we don't fit into that media box. So they don't get coverage, they don't get a shout out, they don't get a mention, they don't get anything because they don't look like what media wants us to look like. Or they're not doing what a big label nonprofit may be doing or what this group is doing. So I always try to amplify that. So
she loved on us. She came to us first. So we appreciate it.
We appreciate that.
Well, I
I love
appreciate
the
it.
short haircut.
Thank you. I had a waiting exhale moment. My hairstylist, shout out to Darla Styles. I texted her and I said, I want my hair cut. She said, oh my God, don't. I'm on a cruise. Wait till I get back. But if you can't, I understand. She's been the head of my glam squad for about 10 years now. So I was like,
so I'll wait.
okay.
Yeah.
Thought about it. She came back. Well, I knew she was coming back. And when I woke up like on day 6, knew I still wanted to cut. I was like, I want to cut my hair. She's like, okay.
I'm back.
She's like, I literally just landed. I'm like, cool. And we did it.
So you have a glam squad. So what all does your glam squad consist of?
Well, if you really, I lost my nail tech because she retired 2 weeks. I'm in search of a nail tech, like for real.
Oh, I saw you post that.
Yes, I'm really in search. So my glam squad, when I used to publish a magazine, I self-published CKW, Chea K magazine. If Oprah can put her name on it, I can put mine.
That's right.
And I started the magazine because I was sitting in the meeting with a particular magazine that was white owned. And the editor told me I would never be on the front of a magazine. And I said, that's where you got me messed up. Bet you I do.
I'll be on front
I do.
every cover.
And I created a magazine. I had never published anything. I always tell people, when I say I started the magazine with no money, I had no money. But I had a prayer. God woke me up.
Yeah.
And it was like a download. He gave me everything to do. I had no money. I'll always talk to folks. I'm always willing to have a conversation. Everybody that signed on, and most of them are still with me today. I said, I don't have this and that, but I can make sure you get my photography. Shout out to D. Johnson, Rodney Pitts, my two photographers. They have rocked with me. And my thing was always, if they're going to help me, I got to make sure I put them on.
Yeah.
So my goal was always to make sure everybody on my team stay booked and busy.
Yeah.
So I gave a lot to them to make sure, like my glam squad, I made sure they were published because they all had dreams. And shout out to Darla because she goes to ATL. She works Hollywood movies and stuff now. That was her dream. Asha used to be my jewelry girl when she retired. I cried because I love me some Aisha.
I know,
but everybody
should get back in the game.
She really should. She really should.
bought us these cups. So we've been friends for many years. So she's a huge supporter of the Thaunties and always shouts us out and shares our stuff. And that was our first Thauntie cup.
All right, it sounds like she's definitely good people. But the glam squad, the goal was just to always keep me looking like I could come outside.
Yeah.
So, because I don't want to scare small children and animals. Because you catch me on the right day, I'm not putting nothing on. I'm tired. You know, when you have long days when they're 16, 17, 18, 9, you wake up and you think, I ain't going to see nobody today. So,
And you see everybody.
let me put this at.
But you know what?
Yes.
I think in radio, like it's always good to match that lovely voice you have.
And her
You know what
voice
I mean?
is
'Cause
amazing,
your voice
right?
is amazing, but you know, sometimes in radio, you be like, oh, this was bad.
I'm not touching that one, but
I'm sorry, but you know what I'm talking about.
No, she did.
Yeah. That's
I'm not
good.
touching that one, but man, you're like, oh, okay.
See you out looking not Chea K.
Bless your heart. I'm going to get your address and your Christmas card. Bless your heart. Because earlier today, see, I went and got my, so let me go get my hair done. Daughter said, I'm going to be on the Thaunties show. She said, girl, let's get you. Because when I walked in, she was like, oh, girl, you okay? It's been a day. Hook me up. My grade was out. I was like, fix all that.
Do your own makeup?
Today I did. So I used to have someone I use all the time. She has since moved away, broken hearted. So I'm actually looking for a makeup artist too. I do not like doing makeup.
Yeah.
But every day there is a visual component to radio now. So I always have to, even if it's a no glam day, I got to at least make sure that I can get on that camera.
Yeah.
So I got my, I got my little tricks of the trade where even if I don't have makeup on, I make sure, I got my primer on and a little bit of some spread and do the eyebrows. That way,
Yeah.
Because you never know.
You mentioned, you gave a very good and detailed bio of who you are, but you are really that bitch.
Well, thank you. I'm going to take that.
I've never, you were the first person I've ever met that sold their brand to a global brand.
You've been doing your research. I'm getting you on good on the makeup. We're at work on it. You did your research. Because I know you had to type it and be like, damn, that's her. Your ass is getting on the show. I'm going to do it.
For years, and I thought, that is amazing. Will you tell us a little bit about how you did that?
Now, that story is hilarious to me because I was sick. I have a discoid lupus and I had fibromyalgia, so I was really sick. And so I had to stop working. like I said, I'm a cosmetologist by trade, but all this was messed up. So I started creating my skincare line because I was having a problem with my skin. So it was soap, bath and body items, and then from there I had no background in chemistry. I'm a researcher at heart. I'm one of those people, I ain't gonna ask you, I'm gonna go figure out how to do it. It's a pet peeve of mine. Don't ask me if you haven't put in work yet. That's your dream, not mine. Started creating soap. Then I went to liquid soap and different things. So I grew into a brand, started doing like parties. I had the bag party. Everything that fits in the bag is $100 or whatever. Candles, all that kind of stuff. And it caught attention. I was shipping overseas. I was shipping to Finland. I had a lot of consumers, but I made them in my home. I wait till the kids go to sleep. And the kitchen became a chemistry because then the cottage laws let you make it at home. But of course, you still got to do the labels. You still got to do the formulation. It was a lot. So when Procter & Gamble called, it was because I had rights of first usage of a name. But then they bought some of the recipes. So that's where that came from. And I'll be honest.
So dope.
I went from, because it was called Pure Divinity, and then I changed it to Aaron Rose as my two daughters' middle names. I didn't have the passion to keep it going once I did that. But during that time, they had been calling. I might start crying because my dad died in the middle of this. I was getting these calls and letters. I was not paying any attention. My dad dies in the middle. My mother tells me about maybe 2-3 days after he passed. She said, he said somebody is going to call you soon and buy your company. And I told him she's never going to sell it because it's so near her heart. I was like, okay, still ain't thing. I'm looking through my emails. I have all these missed emails from these lawyers. I was like, let me see who this is and what they want. And that's what it was. Now, they were sending this prior, during, all this stuff, but my mind was in another place. Yeah. So, and we came to an agreement, sold. But once I did that, even when I rebranded, I didn't have the passion to keep going because I am a person like, once I conquer it, let me see what else I could do. Yeah. So that's kind of where that went to. But that I had gift wrap. I used to wrap gifts, holidays, like corporate clients. And there's a lot of money in gift wrapping. People don't understand because your corporate clients, they don't want to wrap gifts. You got to think this corporation's got, we'll just say 200 people they give a gift to, and they need somebody to wrap it. So they subcontract you. So there's a lot of ways to turn your talent into something. And that's one of the things I always tell my mentees. You take your talent and gift and you make it into a business. And if you can't find a business or you don't know quite yet, let's figure something out. Yeah. So.
Girl, we gonna have to talk.
All right.
Yeah, you got to the bag. Procter & Gamble, that is huge. Dope. And so I hear about them, or not Procter & Gamble, but other companies, purchasing, black-owned brands, but then they water them down and they change the formula.
Well, wasn't it like Honey Pot? Didn't she sell to a major?
Carol's daughter. So there are a lot of major brands. So did you have the opportunity to say, okay, this is what you want to do?
That was not even part of that. That was not even something I was really concerned with because they bought the name, and then when they bought some of my formulas, because I only sold it because I still have all my original formulas. I can still go into production with them. Because a lot of people don't, there's what they call private labeling. You make the product and then you put a company's label on it. Or you put, and a lot of people don't know, it's a huge lane of revenue. Wow. So a lot of times when you buy these products, you really could be the same person making every line. They're just putting in a different bottle, different label on it. So I did a lot of that. Now that I did like doing because you ain't got to deal with nobody. Here's your client. They need 100 gallons of this liquid soap. They need 500 bars of this. Do it. Get it wrapped up. Send it away. And so your hotels and things like that. So, I'm going to drop y'all some jewels. That is a way to make some money. And you never have to really deal with people. You can do it all on the computer. Make the corporate deal and keep it pushing.
Yeah, that's cool.
That is amazing.
But you still got to have that connect, though. That corporate connect is sometimes what we're missing.
We do.
Is that connect.
What did you say, though? What did you tell us before we got on camera?
Here's with your brand. Yeah. You have to always be ready. But I always tell, because I got 32 years in marketing. So I graduated 92. Yeah, about 32 years in marketing. Show up like you're supposed to be there. A lot of times what happens in black businesses, we get so caught up on, I'm a black business, that we don't ever get past. All money's green. And when you walk in the room, I don't need you to tell me you're a black woman. I see you. So if you're caught up on that, then you're going to be caught. You just put yourself in the lane. And the minute you box yourself in, there's no room for you to expand because you've already boxed yourself in. So I think we focus a lot of times on the wrong thing. Now, when it comes to connects, absolutely. But you have to be willing to talk to folks and have conversation and dialogue. And a lot of time we're so conditioned culturally to be, I ain't telling, or I'm not, you can't. And no, don't. First of all, non-disclosure is a wonderful thing. A non-compete is a wonderful thing. Get you one. If you don't have an attorney, you need to get you one because those things are important. But the conversation, I've got some of my best deals, especially breaks in entertainment, just talking to somebody. Everybody, I used to have a manager, he passed away. Shout out to Keith Pepper. Winnie was my manager. One of the things he got on me, I never would take pictures with artists because I'm the listener, I'm the learner, I want to know. I'm more interested in the production because at the time, like, let me see how this works. That's me. So I forget the other stuff. But you have to go in ready to present yourself, ready to connect, because some of the best connections, when I go through my phone and look at my contact list, this is so-and-so's manager, or there's this artist, or I interview. Those things are gold, but they're not gold until you build that rapport. And a lot of people don't want to take the time, and that's why you have to be really careful with your connects. I don't care who don't like it. I stand on this because I've seen it. When you have a relationship with somebody, you got to be careful. Don't give folks contact. Don't give them access because they will mess up what you build. I've seen it happen so many times. So you have to really
manage the connection.
You have to be mindful, and that's why I always tell folks, if that's what you're trying to get connections, definitely let a person know, but also show that person that you are, you're honest, you're doing a lane, because I've seen some folks mess up some huge deals. I've seen, because I do PR as well, I've seen PR people I know almost lose huge contracts because they let somebody backstage, and this particular person said that to the artist. There was one incident where the artist where the person they let back touched the artist. It's been a lot. So you have to be mindful. So that's why a lot of times folks are kind of reluctant because it's like, so it's really hard to find that lane. So I always tell folks, work on that connection, work on that relationship. Because what happens is, there's a lot of folks that I put on stuff, not because I want their credit. You ain't got to tell nobody. But somebody call me, I need a comedian. Let me call someone. Because I know.
The call.
And I know this person comes up, shows up ready to work. This person has good integrity. Let me put you on. Then there's some people who be like, I can't. And I'm like, and there's some, I love them dearly. I can't take the chance. Because I can't let you mess up my career.
Right.
Because I don't need someone so. And a lot of times, if the artist is mad, that's who's gonna call you. I mean, you'd be like, "Oh my God, how did you get my number? Why are you calling me? I'm sorry." I mean, and I've had instances where this artist, hey, little man, they didn't like something you said. I'm like, okay, I literally don't know this person.
Right.
But it's just it's the rapport and the relationship, and really when it comes to entertainment, that business is all about that because it can go south real quick, and you got to be willing to stand right there in that lane by yourself because you never know what's going to happen. You never know who's going to feel away, you just don't.
Yeah. So how did you go from cosmetology to the entertainment business?
Bad arms. When I got sick, and I had always been sick. They can trace it all the way back to when I was like 15. So going through high school, college, I was always sick. But I had so much nerve damage trying to curl some hair.
I can
curling hair,
imagine,
man. And then somebody come with a lot of hair, and I'd be like, I hate you. I just hate you. Let me curl. I just hate you. Let me do right. But I also had a background in marketing, so my thing was always, I'm the person who thinks, okay, let's take this and make it bigger than life, or let's do that. So even when I was working in the salon, my goal was always to take some brands and do other things. So then I went into like training and management. Matter of fact, when I left cosmetology, I went into management. But that's because I had management background. Because I didn't want to just be in the shop. Yeah. And I always tell folks, especially women, especially black women, you need to look at something and look deeper. Don't just say, oh, I'm going to do this. No, see what other avenues. Because see, that could drive. Everything has a slow season. Every part of entertainment. Oh my God, COVID. If COVID didn't teach you that you're expendable, that you're just a number, and that you better have another hustle, I don't know what you learned because you didn't learn nothing.
Right.
Yeah. And I mean, I can remember just sitting there with some other friends. I was actually doing a show with them. We did a show called Off Air on one of the stations I was at. We in there talking, and then the phone was just going ding, 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 and it was all of us gigs are getting canceled. I was the only woman, so I just started crying.
Oh,
the men wanted to be, but I was there like, oh my God, we ain't never gonna work. My kids gonna start, because I was just devastated. I was devastated. Yeah. And they all like, oh man, this is terrible. I was like, man, fuck terrible. We gonna die. We can't eat. I mean, I'm going off the deep end because if it's 7 or 8 months worth of gigs, it's 7 or 8 months.
Oh, that's right.
So there's no concerts coming in. I'm not hosting nothing. There's nobody's buying ads on the radio. Nobody's buying ads on TV. Oh my God, I'm not going here. It was really, that's why you saw so many DJs. So many comedians and stuff, because you had to reinvent yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, even before we had the outbreak, and I covered the protest from day 2 till.
You did.
And that's, somebody asked me, would I do it again? I said, I don't know. Are y'all going to protest again? Don't do it. I'm going to need y'all not to do it. But no, it was one of those things. That's one of those things, you got to go in with it changed my perspective.
Yeah.
Just that whole time period. So again, you got to go in here with a plan. You got to build those relationships. You got to be ready to pivot because you just don't know what's going on.
Right.
Yeah. We have no control over anything, but you control yourself. You control your outlook, and you got to keep a good outlook and entertainment because some of these people crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
I just thought in my mind, one more thing you did. You made Tara, Miss Parker, the fourth Thaunties, wedding shoes.
Oh, okay. You got a hush now. You got a hush now. Yes, I just shoe bit. Yep. So they're like, yes.
I said, oh.
Those was fly.
Oh, yeah, you're a true hustler.
But my arms are so messed up. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I had fun in that business. When I had to phase it out, it was because of this, and I had gotten into media at the time, so I just didn't have time. And that was my biggest thing because I used to do it, and I'd watch TV. And next thing you know, I've been doing it for 8 hours, but I don't watch movies. I don't holler at the kids. I don't order them food. I got up made a pot roast and all these different things. But I like doing it. But when your time starts to change, it's really hard to do something like that.
Yeah.
And when your time changes, it makes life real different.
Yeah.
Well,
That's so good.
She still wears a bikini.
She does.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, any upcoming events you have or anything coming to the city we should know about?
I'm trying to think. So I've got Bone Thugs and Harmony this Friday. Magic's doing it. We've got the Serenade Tour. So we're giving away tickets. I'm going to be giving away tickets to the Serenade Tour. We're going to bring you Maxwell, Jasmine Sullivan, and October London. So what you're going to have to do is tune in from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Magic 101.3, or of course, stream us live. It's 1013online.com, and that's where all the magic happens. Make sure that you follow us on social media. Make sure you're tuned in because you never know what I'm going to give away. But I love to plug my play cousins into everything that's going to upgrade their entertainment life. Yeah. Y'all know what it is.
You just did it.
Girl, so wait a minute. I was like, okay, so do you have a time limit? Because you was rolling.
You got a time. Right, like if it's an 8-second break, if it's a one, it's not as much time as people think. Like if it's just a segue, you better know the end of the song, and I'll be like, oh, we got Chris Brown coming up really quick. Steve is trying to get some money in your hand. You gotta get it because you don't have a choice. And I found myself like, and I talk fast, so I had to slow it down. Yeah. But then I'm like, oh man, I gotta tell these people about this, and that. Y'all want me to tell them all this? I'm like, oh man. Okay. And then I still have my talk break. So if you notice in radio, like that opening, when you get into an hour, you might say, hey, it's your girl Chea K. It's Magic 101.3. We have Chris Brown coming up. We're at the top of our 11 o'clock hour. Stay locked in. I got something. That's it. You tell them something, you tease them into it, and then you get them into the next. The next talk break's a little longer. Most of them are like 60 seconds. 7. That's it. Because you got to think, you got commercials. So you got to keep it moving. And anything's liable to change at any moment.
Now, did you actually know how to do that?
That's what I was going to say. Because you was a hell of a promo.
My 10-year anniversary of radio is actually, it's next month. It's either this month, next month. I got to go look. It was just one of those things. When my very first show, I got my first show off that article that you read about me selling products. Oh, yeah. So I co-hosted. I had a show. The Chea K Folks Show. I co-hosted Black American Talk Radio and Black Wall Street. The station, it was in St. Louis. So they built me a studio here so I could patch in, but then I'd have to go up so much. It was an indie radio, indie TV. You can do a whole lot on indie radio and TV that you can't do on corporate TV. Yeah. Like I had to watch my mouth because I got bad mouth sometimes. I had not done it the way they were doing it. I went right in. I had a show, and I ain't gonna lie, the first show I was just like, okay, I'm gonna do this. But I got hungry to learn what it was. Yeah. So then I started hanging with the engineer. Then I want to know what the sound got. Because now I need to know every part of it because I always have an exit plan. Don't ever do nothing without an exit plan. There you go. A, B, C, D, E, F. Always. Because you never want to let nobody box you in. Because there's going to come a point, and I did that with the first network. I knew when I was going to leave. And I had to make sure I could just move my show and nobody even really realized that I had left. So it's little things I want to know. Why are we doing this? Why are we writing the screenplay like this? Why are the commercials time like that? I needed to know all that. So I just kind of dove right into the industry. Wow. And then over there, I've just I've honed Chea K. But my first show, and I won't take up a lot of time, but this is hilarious, cracks me up. My very first show, I had to do it in the car because I was here. They hadn't built the studio yet. So I'm in my Mazda. Because I can't be in the house because I got 2 dogs, some kids, a mama. It's a lot going on in that house. The bread making the corn, I swear, it's just a lot. The bread making it's just a lot going on. I'm in the car. I pull into the back part of my house. I got a laptop. I got a mic. You couldn't tell me nothing. I got headphones on and great. I can't remember who I was going to interview. I think I was interviewing Smokey Ross. He's like one of my first famous
that's
interviews.
dope.
Yeah, super that.
Girl,
That was interesting.
amazing.
So I'm doing it.
It's interesting.
It was interesting.
That's Smokey Robinson.
I'm in the car. These 3 possums jump on the hood. I'm live. I'm talking, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? Hey, y'all. And I'm like, so tell us, what got you into Motown? What made you write these songs? You've written some classics. Tell me about that. I'm still looking at the possum. They sat on there.
Make sure
Did they sit on the car the whole show?
That was my first audience. So I named them the Possum Johnson family because they lived in the house across the street. And when I tell you they were cool neighbors, they were cool because they came over every week for like 6-7 months and just hung out with me during showtime.
The possum?
Yes, I would go do certain things in the car, and even though they had built me a studio, I'm like, I feel at home out here.
And the possums would come
The
out.
Possum Johnson.
And you wasn't scared.
I don't really like
I was inside the car.
last
They
name.
was on. Oh, I'm so well, let me just say this. Out of my neighbors, they were the best neighbors. The kids were well behaved. They weren't making no noise or causing no trouble. They would just walk on. Every once in a while, they go in the trash. I'd be like, could y'all put my top back on?
Oh, my
But y'all, they were so supportive. I was like, they're my people right there. So yeah, the Possum Johnsons. Shout out to the Possum Johnsons. I think they all dead now.
I bet they are.
Shout out to
Kamika's cousin.
I don't like possums either.
But these possums is cool. You know, like they had a little flavor to them. It was the daddy, the mom, and the 2 little kids.
Girl, stop.
They just walking across the street.
That is too
So I
funny.
was happy though when they gave me a studio. I was like, thank you God, because I'm in the car with animals.
I'm in with the wildlife.
I don't know. I think I probably would have freaked out. Hey, that's a hellified move that you was able to keep your composure. Because I would be like, shit!
I mean,
I'd be like, what's
they
wrong
were just
with
looking
her?
at me, and they weren't disrespectful or anything. They were just like, girl, what you doing? And I felt like they were cheering me on, like, girl, you gonna do this. You gonna
But
make
they
it.
might have been. That was your
I was
audience.
like, look at my little friends over there. They so supportive.
Y'all crazy. It's probably because our drinks done went down a little bit. The week that found it is so amusing.
That was
Yeah.
funny.
And so, Shay, when our drinks go down a little bit, we get to what we like to do, drop it like a Thauntie.
Okay.
And we talk about hot topics and what's going on. So, I sent in this week because for those on social media, I saw a post and the school, I'm not sure where it says, it's called Woodlawn School. I will give you this disclaimer.
We never have all the facts.
We never know all the facts.
We give you tidbits.
We are here for entertainment, honey.
I got a cousin and she never knows nothing. And it makes me so mad. She'll call and be like, guess who died? And I'll be like, who? She'll be like, oh, shit, let me call you right back. Like, you gotta go get the details.
Wait a minute
Or,
now.
guess what happened?
The first name.
Hold on, let me call so-and-so. Okay, this is what happened. Then you call somebody and be like, that is not what happened. I'm like,
That is us. We don't ever know somebody's real name.
We're head reporters.
Real name. We're reporters.
We're head reporters.
Woodlawn High School. I'm not sure which Woodlawn.
I don't know if
That's not in the
We don't have one in
book. That's not here.
But so it says visitors will not be able to enter this building in attire such as pajamas, robes, house shoes, bonnets, revealing articles of clothing, sagging pants, no one under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Which leads me to the topic of what happened to decorum? Why does this need to be said to adults?
Well, because really, these aren't adults.
that hard.
Well, I mean, like, I think that everybody's out of control.
Yeah.
Everybody's
out of control.
Everybody.
Because honestly, you really shouldn't have to tell grown-ups not to come to school high. But how many kids do teachers smell like weed because they rode to school with their daddy?
No. Baby, this ain't for students.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. But the kid rode with their parents, so if the kid rides on a normal day, smell like weed more times out of 10 when that parent comes to school, they smell like weed. You know what I'm saying?
And so shout out to Miss Parker because she talked about this at the last graduation season for JCPS. She was so sick of it. She said, what happened? There's people that had see-through clothes.
Well.
It smelled like a loud pack. So everybody was in there just smelling high. Like, what happened? Like when we were coming up, you had school clothes, you had church clothes, you had funeral clothes, you had play clothes. Now it's all the same.
It's all the
Yeah. For real.
That's all I'm saying.
It is.
It's all
And I
I'm
might
saying.
be guilty. I don't know.
What are you guilty of?
I might have worn something that I went to club to the church. I don't know.
But then you sit in the front pew.
Maybe.
She's a PK, so she probably did.
Oh, okay,
You know,
I
it
got
wasn't
you.
like the revealing things, but I might have done both.
You didn't put your little towel over your little short dress?
Well, I don't wear little dresses. I just wear pants. I wear slacks.
Oh,
to church.
okay.
I wear
Okay.
slacks and a nice blouse, but I might wear that same blouse out too.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
well,
That's kind of
yeah.
different.
Yeah.
Because some things
what
are
do you think?
interchangeable.
Well, they wrote that list because all that has happened.
Yeah.
They sat down in a PTA
They tired of
meeting,
it.
and they said, Miss Johnson came in. I'm quitting.
We're not going to keep talking about the Johnsons.
Miss Fisher had 2 bonnets on.
Thank you.
Miss Myrtle Ann, her panties was showing. Everything in that done happened. Some little tray, and his daddy smelled like weed and some
Man.
other stuff.
Man.
Yeah, all that's happened. That's a testament. That's not
That
even a
is.
list.
That's why they make a list.
I know.
They're sick
And
of
so
it.
I was talking to someone who works at JCYC, and I asked him, like, what is going on with these kids? And he was just like, the parents. You should see how they come to court. They come to court in bonnets. They come to court in pajamas. They come to court in house shoes. Like, if this generation of parents have no decorum.
It's
None.
absolutely insane.
That is really crazy. Because, those will, let me tell you something. I don't know about you guys now, but back then when dudes had to go to court, they were sharp.
Yeah.
That's probably the only time they wore a suit was to go to court.
And even if you went to court to see somebody in court, you look nice. Like, you don't want to be your judge and be like, oh, it's your people right there.
Right.
In the bonnet section, that's your people. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's a mess.
So, but this was in JCPS. The J-Town bus compound actually said, ladies and gentlemen, your shirts are to, this is talking to school bus drivers.
Yes.
Your shirts are to fully cover your buttocks. Biker shorts are not permitted starting this afternoon.
Oh, wow.
So somebody came dressed like that
Drivers
morning.
will be sent home if. So I think about, like, we have such a bus driver shortage at JCPS. Is what you worried about?
Right.
Is what
Wow.
you worried about?
So are you getting up? The bus drivers ain't really getting up on the bus, so
Yeah.
they just trying to entice the other drivers, not the kids.
The drivers.
I say, when you go to the bus compound to get your bus, they just trying to, be a little cute at the bus station.
Or for the daddy that's sitting on the bus stop.
That's right.
No.
You don't think they look for the daddy?
No. They're not the bus drivers, sir.
Bus 1411 is trying to get with 1782.
Girl!
What's with you, fella?
Baby, hey, you see how I walk through there?
I'm like, look at
It's
her.
just like working at the factory. That's all I'm saying. Like when they walk through, it's not about the customers. It's going like it's all about when they walk through.
I think we have such a bus driver shortage. For you to worry about what the bus driver, if they don't have no bonnet,
It's hot, and guess what? There's no air on there.
no air on the bus.
I need y'all to not worry about it right now.
But I don't want to see a butt crack either, though. But I think you can see some of them bus drivers' butt cracks.
Well, they just got
The big ones, like, pull your clothes up. But that's why they say it. We don't want to see that.
You think it's a man showing
short
their-
shorts, like buttocks hanging
Oh,
out.
I wasn't thinking that. I think it was men's pants sagging. Like, you know what I'm saying? When you know how sometimes you can see
Yeah, I don't
people's
wanna
butt
see that
cracks?
either.
I don't want to see
Yeah,
that.
nobody
I don't
want
wanna
to
see
But
that.
they shouldn't even have to be said.
Well, so just an FYI, there is not a bus driver shortage any longer. They have so many bus drivers that don't have routes because JCPS eliminated other routes.
Oh.
So there are plenty of bus drivers with no routes. So that's
Say
not
that
really
one
true.
more time for the back.
Say it for the people in the back.
Well,
So we got drivers and we
And
got.
no-
And there's no
routes.
routes.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Well, are they still getting paid?
I think they may be. I don't know how that's working.
they got a contract.
They got contracts.
yeah.
They got a contract.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not their fault that
Yeah.
JCPS.
Well, the
is paying, right?
JCPS was supposed to come back within, I guess maybe
Well, now if-
3 to 4
well,
weeks
they
after
got the
school
surplus.
started.
then these schools that don't have buses.
That's what I'm telling you. They're coming back in 3 to 4 weeks, and they're going to start adding routes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, good.
Good.
Because these kids
Yeah.
need to get to school.
Yeah.
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 And that was another thing that JCPS is supposedly going to be focused on truancy this year, but is that really fair when you have some kids that don't have a ride to school?
Well, here's my thing. And I might be an unpopular opinion. I feel like if you don't have transportation to get your kid to school, then you should be okay with them going to their home school.
Well,
I also think that JCPS needs to make sure that every school has every resource, so it doesn't matter if my kid goes to school in the West, my kid goes to school in the East. But if I don't have transportation, then I shouldn't apply for my kid to go to somewhere in the East End because they're in a better school.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
For sure.
They
should be all created equally.
equal. Yeah.
Every school should be equal.
Yeah.
Every school should be equal.
But we know that doesn't, and that's not just JCPS. That doesn't happen. Every urban area has schools that aren't getting the same education.
I think you have to also factor in the fact that JCPS probably as a whole gives each school the same amount of money, but then you have alumni and building funds or whatever for that alumni put in to donate. So I'm going to tell you right now, I know that Male High School has an alumni that's going to fund a lot of things that they need at that school. Probably the same thing for Manual and some of the bigger schools, Eastern. These are people that alumni are just going to feed into that program where you might not have at your other schools such as Shawnee or Central or So I think they all get a lot at the same amount. But when you have those programs and people, your alumni pay back into the program.
But some of the Title I schools, Western schools, like they might have to use their money for other resources because they're building. Not a state of the art. Yeah. So they had to put all their money into the building, whereas some of the Eastern schools can put all their money into
resources,
and resources and activities too. So. I'm just good. I ain't got to worry about it because my kids is grown.
Grown.
When my girls when I decided to relocate to Newburgh to where I live now, I decided that they were going to stay in that school. So guess what? I, as their parent, who made this, got up and drove everybody. I hated it. Hated it. But you know what? I did it because I made the choice. I think a lot of people don't forget transportation is a privilege. It's not a right.
It really is.
That is where we always mess up anyway because people think something's owed to them all the time.
I hate entitlement.
Me too. I hate that. You are not entitled to stuff.
I hate entitlement. But it becomes a downfall. It's no different. There was talk of doing, and I think they did decide to do this, doing a stipend for parents who were bringing their kids.
Yeah.
Okay, now I got to pay you to bring your own kids. Okay.
I ain't got my stipend yet. So.
She don't take her kid anyway.
My son special needs, so he gets
a boyfriend.
He ain't got no car?
Well, he need a stipend. No.
Did you hear about that?
He need a stipend for
that.
Took her today. Don't listen to this lady that don't live in 4103. You dig? Don't. She's at that fact. She probably sleep. Wasn't it?
She'll take her kids. She'll take them.
Don't sit down and you.
But no, I think that entitlement, because it is a pet peeve of mine.
Yeah, me too.
First of all, nobody's required to help you. You're not owed anything. I don't owe you anything. You don't owe me anything.
Yes.
And I see a generation now that feels so entitled that they're not willing to work. So what's happened is folks have this false sense of achievement. Your resume has to match your ego. If your ego's bigger than that resume, ain't too much you're going to tell me right now because I've put in the work. And I'm only saying that not as being a jerk, but I've put in the work. I've got friends who've put in the work, people who've been doing it 10, 20, 30 years and just now getting on big stages. But they've sacrificed. I can't appreciate a dream that you're not willing to sow into. It's your dream, it ain't mine. You want to do this. I don't owe you anything. I may want to collaborate with you. May want to help you. I have mentees. But if you're not willing to put in the work, what do I look like? This is your shit, not mine. And a lot of folks think that they're, like you said, entitled, they're old, and then they get angry because you didn't get, first of all, I'm not giving you my recipe. It's just not going to happen. I worked to build this. And that's different. Being your mentor is different than giving you the recipe. People just want you to hand it over. And that's just a no with me. I don't do that. Because if you want me to hand it over, that tells me you haven't done any research. You're not asking for me to help fill in the blanks. You won't just tell me how to do it. And I would say no in a heartbeat. A lot of people don't like it. I don't care. Because I'm not going to do it. I get on my kids. My daughter hates. She'll ask me a question. I'm like, did you research that? She's like, oh my goodness. I say, you want to know? I don't. I already know the answer. Because Google. And then my thing is, if you really want to know, you're going to find out. And that's the difference between being hungry and willing to put in the work. and just being lazy and think somebody owe you something.
Yeah.
You feel entitled. You're not entitled to not one thing.
And you can sift through people that way as well.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
There's people who want stuff handed to them, like, you know they're not going to work for it at the end.
And
They're not going to complete it.
and you're wasting energy. I have learned throughout my career, don't waste your energy and resources. You are only allotted so much time on this earth, and it's the most precious commodity you have.
Yeah.
Once you spend it, you can't return it. You can't get it back. Nothing. It's gone. So when you waste time on things, places you shouldn't be, people you shouldn't be around, other folks' dreams, and we fall into that trap.
That's true.
You working somewhere helping build somebody else's dream, and you're neglecting yours. Then a year or two down the road, you're like, oh my God, I didn't finish my book because you was helping this person. Sometimes God puts us on a path, and we decide that, oh, we should be over here. And until you get right, until you're where you're supposed to be, you're out of order.
Yeah.
You're so out of order, nothing's gonna move forward for you until you get out of that. And I'm speaking from my own experience. God will bust you in the head and make you go another way. He'll let you fall so much. But here's what I've learned.
He will.
My biggest career breaks have literally come when everything has fallen apart and I have to pivot. And I promise, and I'm not going to cite the two incidents, but I will say it literally came within hours of it. I don't mean like the next day, like this may happen at 10 in the morning. At 2, I'm getting a call. So I know God works, but I also know, and I had to admit, I wasn't supposed to be here. I wasn't supposed to be doing this work. I'm not supposed to be doing these events. I'm supposed to be here. So sometimes we get in our own way. But then instead of being honest and having that honest conversation with self, we want to blame everybody. Well, this person didn't help me. They ain't supposed to help you. You're supposed to help you.
Yeah.
That's true.
And I find that unfortunately, culturally, a lot of our young folks, well, let me rephrase it. A lot of folks, period. Want you. Give me this, do that. And then when you don't, they get mad, and then they don't like how she went. I'm not your mama. I ain't supposed to help you.
Yeah.
Even if I'm your mama, who's that?
Well, you know, she got a little bit of a tie to you. She got to give you something because she's your mama, but she might have to.
She ain't even got to.
And it just amazes me that, you know, I see so many people let go of their dreams because they're too lazy to work, but then that's not your dream. If that's your dream, you have to be willing to sacrifice something. I tell folks, my dream, my brand is built on blood, sweat, and tears, and a lot of sacrifices. People don't know, when I got my first show, I'm in the car, I got my kids, and when I forgot my first show, my son, he wasn't even in the wheelchair yet. My son is autistic. When he was born, he's got some developmental delays. They said he wouldn't walk, talk, learn, do nothing. He has defied all odds. So you can't tell me that God ain't real. You can't tell me that there's not a plan. But my son learned to talk on the road. I was going to ATL to do a show. We're in the car. They said he wouldn't do anything, and he wasn't talking. He started reading traffic signs. Next thing I know, my son started. So I'm calling the speech therapist like, oh my goodness.
He's talking.
Then he started walking, right? He was wearing leg braces. He had to have corrective surgery and have his legs reconstructed, so he spent some years in a wheelchair. I used to pack that wheelchair and my kids were working as my contract. So again, you can't tell me that God doesn't have a plan. See, everybody wants to be, oh, I'm this, I'm that, I'm that. I need this to get there. I need this. I need a reimbursement for my rental car, and I need lodging. Because everybody comes with me.
Right.
You get the best of me when everybody's with me, and I know.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, a lot of folks, I got to have the first class flight. I ain't never been one to ask for all that. Now, I want my money. Don't ever think I don't want my money. But my priority is this. I don't care about this first class flight if that means I could just get a stipend or have a sprinter come get us and take us somewhere.
Yeah.
Because they got to come with me.
As long as they with you.
And it's just certain things I think people aren't willing to not just sacrifice certain things for a dream, but also create what works for them. Yeah. You know, when you're working on something and you're building something for your kids, you make them a part of it or take them with you.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you got to do that. And it's just what it is. And I always tell folks, you know, for me, every part of the journey has netted something. It has created a different path. It's opened doors. So I've been asking a lot of interviews, would I do this again, even the best? I'd have to. Because if I didn't, I wouldn't be the same person. So.
Well, then we should feel very blessed that she's here today.
We really are, honestly.
She didn't drop some
Just like the Pastor Johnson. Y'all are so supportive.
Listen.
We are the three bottoms.
And I'm over here like, ooh, I wish I could take notes.
No.
Because I'm a note taker, and honey, when you drop
you're
I'm the person who's gonna be like, I'm gonna write this
Yeah.
down because I'm gonna remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we since you are dropping jewels, now's the time for us to ask a Thauntie. And usually that's when people send us questions and they want our Thauntie's opinions about life. But today I'm gonna put Miss Chea K in a hot seat and ask her some questions. Are you ready?
Okay.
Okay. So you gave your spiel about the microwave society, people thinking they more than what they are, people to get a microphone and just a camera and go to work. What do you think about the Thaunties?
Now, I actually like y'all. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, because when I first said, what are they doing? Is this a party? I told you I called Terry.
She did call Terry. Terry was like, she just called me, and I was like,
I said, you got to tell me something. And I said, let me go and watch some more. I said, okay. And then I said, they be cutting. Okay, they stupid. I said, okay.
They crazy.
But I went to school with Sean, so, and I kept saying, I think I know it. That's Sean's wife. I said, okay. I said, well, I know they ain't acting up too much. I said, okay. Then I started watching. I said, so I like the brand.
Thank you.
But I will say this. Do not dilute your brand getting in stuff in places you should not be.
Say it again.
Just do not dilute your brand.
Yeah.
Going to places and getting in stuff you shouldn't be. Just because they invite y'all there don't mean you should go.
Woo, Lord.
Because if I can get you for free, why am I going to pay you?
Right.
Because see, I can go this club and see you for free on a Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday. Well, why am I going to pay you $1,000 to come host mine? You got to be selective. And in my brand, I have built-in exclusivity. And people say things like, I probably can't afford you. You really right. You right.
You're probably right. You're right.
I don't show up to host for $50, and I'm not going to be on a $50 flyer. Because the minute I do that, I have devalued what I work for.
Yeah.
And then you have to
listen to you all the time. Flyers is probably your biggest pet
Oh, I
peeve.
can't say it's on the flyer. My own personal friends will come like, girl, what time? I said, you see a picture of me? It literally say 11 o'clock next to my eyeball. You just gonna not look at it. Well, where's it at?
Stand flyers.
And I like good flyers. I hate janky flyers. Okay, pet peeve time. If there's a flyer and the pictures are something you done took a screenshot of, don't you send me that flyer? I'm never gonna. That's just terrible. That is just god awful. Or everybody wants to be on a flyer. So for a lot of folks who not put in work, like to be on, I'm on this flyer. Okay, but what are you getting from being on that flyer?
Yeah.
Okay, they put you on. I can put you on. Give me 4 minutes. I can make you put you on a couple of flyers. That doesn't mean that it's worth your time. It doesn't mean that it adds to your life, adds to your brand, adds to your resume. So you got to be selective. And people don't like when I say this. I will look at your flyer and decide if I'm coming. If that flyer looks like bad decisions, I'm not coming. I have something to lose. So I tell folks, make sure you present your brand like you're already there.
I like when you tell them don't put Beyonce in there. You know Beyonce.
Okay, that was a friend of mine. I said, you got good damn well. Beyonce is not coming. I said, you do know you can get sued for that. Well, everybody, I said, I don't care what everybody does. You get sued for that, and you know she's not coming. It's like when you put Martin Luther King. Martin Luther's not coming to this party, and you not even. And I was like, y'all don't even party, first of all. And then they got it with gold chains on Martin Luther. I said, y'all going straight to hell for that. This is terrible. Martin Luther is in there talking to Malcolm saying we should go back. This is terrible.
It's not the dream.
He said, I did not watch for this.
My dream.
So since you have watched a couple shows, what feedback do you have for us?
Y'all should definitely keep your formula because y'all work. You can tell that you all are genuinely friends because you can't fake that. Make sure that in all encounters, y'all remember that you're friends. So whatever happens, you have conversation, you have dialogue. Because most groups, if you look at all singing groups, I had Q Parker in the station the other day, and we talked about his breakup with 112. First of all, amazing guy, amazing interview. I'm going to actually put the whole thing on social media because we had church after we cut that interview, honey. He was talking about his journey with 112, and that breakup was nasty. But he was saying that in the last, I think he said 5 or 6 months, I can't think of the young girl. She was in one of the groups. She died. And then a guy.
The girl from 702.
And then there was another singer who had a real bad car wreck because he actually posted the pictures. And he was saying that made him say, okay, you know what? We can't have this beef. So he reached out to them, let's squash the beef. Let's get back together. And I did ask him, how's that been received? He's like, yeah. He said, but I know when God says it's right, nobody's going to be able to say no.
Yeah.
I said all that to say, you're a group. There's always going to be some differences. There's always going to be something that you don't agree on. Don't get mad and go that way. Stay mad and stay right here and talk to each other. Because you can work through things. That you're never going to agree on everything. It's impossible. And that's where the beauty of collaboration comes in.
Right.
Because what you see is not what she sees, not what she sees. If y'all put that together, y'all can come up with something amazing. Yeah. So just make sure that you always have those conversations with each other. Never, and what do they say? Nobody's bigger than the group. Ain't nobody coming to see. I don't want to turn on, where are they now? And she over there talking about, nobody came to see you. I'm like, oh my God, they turned into the Temptations over here. I don't want to be watching the show and she come in like David Ruffin and Sean got the camera behind you and they ain't talking about nothing. And they in there like, what's going on? I don't see none of that.
Yes, she will.
You will. just make sure that you always talk to each other. And even if you don't agree, come up with a plan. But those disagreements, when you put them on paper, may be the best plan you ever make.
I love it. I like that. I was just playing. Kamika do take her daughter to school.
I like how she cleaned that up.
So she said, "She's according to my money, y'all." That was hilarious. That was hilarious.
Every day. And pick her up. And go out town.
That's right.
So who's your celebrity crush?
Shh. Oh shit, I got a bunch, but I'm being honest.
I don't know. Have you
met your crush?
The one you met.
30 years, say my daughter's 30 years ago. So I love me some LL Cool J.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Because
Yeah.
it's him and somebody else. Mm-hmm. I am a huge supporter of people evolving.
Mm-hmm.
So I love to see black men when you can start at one and you evolve. The other one is David Banner. I've met David. I got a picture with David. I've interviewed. That man is sexy because he has like owned all his flaws.
But he's intelligent.
He's so you ever heard him speak? Oh my God, he's amazing.
Yes.
But and when I was talking to him, I said, what you did gave black men permission to evolve. Now I know other people have done it, but I like to see black men do it and tell them it's okay. You shouldn't still be doing this. Because I think culturally we have a lot of I can't say nothing. That's the homie. I don't. No, everybody's got to grow. Life changes. It's ever evolving. You got to evolve with it or you're going to be stuck.
Well, I think that Snoop was the picture perfect of evolution.
Oh, my God. That's
How do you become the USA ambassador? And you was smoking weed.
But he's his authentic self.
But he's so true.
He's
always stay true to yourself. Be yourself.
That's it. That is it.
Being yourself.
But we laugh all the time and we talk about late in life babies. Did you get caught up?
So let me see. My oldest will be 30. I had her when I was 20. He was 20. I think Caitlin will be 23 in December. My son will be 14 in October.
Oh, you got caught up.
So here's what had happened.
What happened was
one day I was like, I don't feel so good. And I was like, my boobs I just don't feel well.
God.
And then I thought, oh shit, I used to feel like this when I was pregnant. I said, oh, you gotta be kidding me. I know you fucking lying. This is too much for me. And I was pregnant with Ian. But I would say that's my baby. Yeah. And I always tell him, you my favorite, not planned gift. I also tell him all the time, you my favorite son. One day it dawned on him, was like, he's like, you ain't got no other sons. I'm like, but you my favorite.
It's you, boo.
But I always say that Ian taught me patience because because I knew something was going on before the doctors even said. Mm-hmm. And I tell folks a lot of time, Ian keeps me from telling some of y'all what I really think, and that's just the truth. I'll be like, I gotta make it home to Ian. I got something loose, I gotta show them. Because if I hadn't had Ian, I know I'd be a different me. And I know this mouth, because I know how my mouth is, would have already said some stuff that probably didn't go back. He makes me think, nope. So he's always been a blessing. Like I said, he taught me patience. He taught me what's really important. And a lot of stuff just don't matter.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff, it's a waste of time. Mm-hmm. And when I talk about and I use social media a lot in work, so I'm not saying don't use it. But social media makes people create this false self that's so false they believe it. Yeah. And that's different. Everybody's got a brand. Everybody know that Snoop Dogg's probably home sitting in his drawers right now. He ain't doing it. But that's different than creating you have this false self and you believe the hype and now you believe the hype so much that you're just delusional.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I hate that because I've seen some folks who are super talented, really have gifts, great ideas, but they get caught up in this lane. And once people are caught up, if they're not willing to be honest with themselves and say, I need to get out of this, they stay stuck. And once you're stuck, you're stuck. Nobody can move you but you.
Right.
Yeah. Self-assessment is very, very rare.
A lot of folks, black folks, I talk about therapy. I talk about mental health a lot. I go to therapy every week. I broke my therapist one week because I was talking to her and she glitched like Mitch and I said, I just broke this.
Not like Mitch.
I feel so bad. I feel so bad. The reason she's there is for me to dump it all on her. And I hate the conversations about mental health and I said, you have to do preventative things.
Yeah.
Go to therapy, talk to folks.
You have a black therapist?
No, actually, a white lady.
A white lady.
And I like her.
Glitch like Mitch.
And I don't mean she's white because she glitch. Black people glitch.
She said a white lady.
She is.
I didn't hear it.
But I will say this because the first time with therapy, I went to somebody I know. Don't ever do that.
Don't do
No,
that.
I wouldn't even
Ever.
feel
I would never go to
No.
somebody I know. Yeah.
Ever do that.
No.
Because you can't, I'm going to tell her, I'm like, I'm going to eat cheeseburgers with this heifer after the session.
Right,
I can't tell her what really happened. It's going to change our whole dynamic.
And I certainly ain't paying you because I could have told you this over cheeseburgers.
And you need somebody to tell you the truth.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Real
I
talk.
need to bounce out, and I need to be able to get it all out. And that's the thing. I think what happens with us, Black women, Black men, a lot of us were told, "Oh, you gonna be all right," or "That's just how that person is." No,
not
we gotta
okay.
normalize not going. That's just how they are. I don't care that that's just how you are is hurting me, or how you are. I'm not coming around because of how you are.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm one of those, I have learned to distance myself. One, you're not going to talk crazy to me. I don't care who you are, because you're not going to make me feel less than. You're not going to belittle me. You're not going to have me trying to second guess myself. So I don't tolerate disrespect, because if I don't disrespect you and
Don't
you
do
feel
me.
it's okay to disrespect me, there's some deeper issues there. And this situation is only going to get worse.
Yeah.
So, you know, a lot of, and I've been very guilty of not paying attention to red flags. And then you're like, oh my God, I shouldn't have done this. I shouldn't have been here. Own your mistake, apologize, fix it if you can, keep it pushing.
Keep it pushing.
Because you can get stuck machinating on what's going on, or what you did.
Yeah.
And guess what? All them other people, they
Moved on with their life. Yeah.
But we are our own worst critics sometimes, and we beat ourselves up. And we beat ourselves up to our detriment sometimes. We really take us out the game. Where this was where you're supposed to be. You so busy wallowing in what you did wrong and not being able to forgive yourself that you never make it here. Everybody else has made it past you. Or them same people may have fallen off into some of their own mess, but you still stuck.
Yeah.
So,
And that's all that matters. Is that where you at?
Right.
Yeah.
that part.
Yeah.
Well, Shay, thank you so much. Like, I could talk to you all day.
Awesome.
Like, I could probably do a half day show.
I really feel like
I don't wanna stop,
what's the last segment that we do?
Listen to your
Listen to your
Thoughties.
She done did the listen to your Thoughties the whole show. The whole show was a listen to your Thoughties.
She know everything.
She know everything.
It's Chea K, baby, because that's who you need to listen to.
That's who you need to listen
That's who you need to listen to. But one more hot seat question. Where do you see Chea K in 5 years?
So my goal is to probably syndicate my show, but I also want to get back into television and that kind of stuff. Definitely love radio, so I don't see myself leaving that anytime soon. My goal is always to have the #1 show in the market. As a Black woman in media, I can tell y'all some horror stories. I am always, in most cases, devalued. There is not a white organization in this city that I've covered that I haven't held a test. Kentucky State Fair, shout out to you, because they used to shit on indie media. And I said, well, we can't have that. And I love Ian Cox, Kentucky Venues, a huge shout out to him, because he called and he said, I agree with you. What can we do? See, that's what's wrong. People don't want to have a dialogue.
Yeah.
I'm going to, if I tell you something's wrong, I gotta be willing to talk to you and tell you what's wrong. How silly I look, who is wrong? And then I'm not going to say nothing. Now we both look stupid, you know. There's not any white organization, if there's indie media, that I've not taken the task. I don't need to do it in front of a camera. I'm gonna go in this boardroom and talk to you, because part of what you owe others is to use your voice and platform to change the game for other folks.
I love it.
But unfortunately, a lot of times people think they got to do it publicly, or they have to be in front of everybody. The best deals are made at a table and a locked door, and that's just how it is. In entertainment, in business, nonprofit, everything. You know, my media company, we've been around. I got 31 years in marketing. I ain't new to this, I'm true to it. But I always tell folks, you gotta learn, own your space, stand your ground, and know who you are going in these boardrooms. Because they'll try to tell you who you ain't and who you are.
Right.
And get it all wrong.
Right.
And
And you
get it all
better know
wrong.
who you are.
You better know who you are.
Stand on business.
Standing on it. Standing on it.
That's
Thank you so much.
I appreciate y'all letting me come out and hang out with y'all. They fed me tacos.
We do.
Gave me Arizona tea because I don't drink. I got a Thaunties cup. I'm in the mix. And I actually knew some of their people, so we good. We good.
But before we go, we do listen to your Thauntie, because it's tradition. That's what we do. And so, you know, just a real quick nugget, gem of wisdom that might inspire somebody to keep going.
Me or you?
Well, Shay can start. Look, she's
Y'all go
already
ahead,
ready.
because I'm thinking. Let me see.
Think.
Well, I'll start while they thinking. So here's the thing. So I've been in a situation where, you know, sometimes we feel like we the old person when you the 30 age. But I heard someone on a sermon today. Old is not in the number of years, it's a matter of time. If you're 30 years old and you only got 10 years left, then you old. But if you like me and you at 25 and then you might got 50 years left, then I'm young. So if you cannot think about your oldness or youngness in the number of years.
Like it.
Yes.
What you got?
So I read something today. It was like there's 3 C's of life, right? Choices, chances, and change. You seen that? Yeah. So you have to make the choice, to take the chance, to see the changes.
I love it.
Yeah. And so always just make a choice to make a change.
That's good.
Yeah, take chances because it's the only way you can never change.
That's real talk,
Yeah.
ain't it? Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really have anything.
Well, Chea K has given us
more
more than enough.
Lots of gems. Lots of gems.
Pay attention.
Jay-Z, I'm a huge Jay-Z fan. He said, I can't base what I'm going to be off what everybody isn't. Don't worry about what they are. Don't worry about what they're doing. Don't worry about what they think. If you know what direction you're going, if you know what your dream is, you keep your eye on that because that background noise will get you distracted. And the enemy comes to kill, steal, and destroy. And it comes as something beguiling. It doesn't always come as something as horrific. It doesn't come as something that's going to throw you off your game. It can be somebody. It could be your friends. It could be your family. It's going to be all of this. And that gets you off your path. You cannot allow that to knock you down. You know your dream. I believe in DNA. I believe God encoded everything we're supposed to do in our DNA. And all your bumps and bruises, that builds your spiritual muscle. All your bumps and bruises, you have to go through that so you know how to act when you finally get that blessing. You have to be treated that way so you know how not to treat people when you get that blessing. You have to go through all that to be who you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
That's right.
I do got one. Don't ever allow circumstances to change your mindset. Like if someone does you wrong, people always want to say, I'm gonna give you that same energy. Don't allow people to change you. Stay on who you are because I promise you, those same people who did you wrong, they circle back every time because when you genuine and you authentic and you just a good person, God brings goodness back to you. And he done told you 1,000 times he will make your enemies your footstool.
Amen.
Yeah. I wrote that in my journal today.
Did you?
Thank you.
Wow.
It's about matching energy.
Yes.
You know, I'm
You can't be dumb. You allow
It's so tiring.
It is.
It's so hard to keep being
No, you can't be anybody but yourself.
When you're a nice person.
Yeah, for real.
If you're a nice person, it's hard to keep being mean. Like I
When they go high, we go low. Actually, when they go high, we go to hell. Play with your mama, not me. You see, I try not to be that person. That's why I say I don't do disrespect. Because I know I'm going left. This whole, we fighting over cheese, and I'm over here like, play with your mammy, not me. I'm going all off it. I already know that. That is my, I've worked on that. I know how my mouth is. I know how I get. That's why I don't argue with people anymore. Because I know how. You know what? You got it. And I'm going to go. But I'll tell you this, because I don't want to take it for show. Don't hang, if people ain't got nothing to lose, you in the wrong circle. If you hang around with people who ain't got nothing to lose, guess what? They don't care if you lose.
They don't care.
So
They don't care.
that circle might be like a dot. And you're going to have to just get used to that. You may walk your journey alone, but anytime, and I've learned this, if you hang around folks, they ain't got nothing, and you can't be friends with somebody who wants your life. I've been through that.
That's true.
You cannot be friends.
That was it.
Yeah. Shay, how can they follow you on social platforms?
All right, you can catch me. Actually, you can hit all platforms and just type in CHEA. Can't talk today. And ain't no licking here. CHEA space K. And it pops right up. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and of course, you can always catch me on Magic 101.3. I've got you from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's me, then it's Faith, then it's Hurling. And we're going to take care of all your magical music needs. You know we got you. Y'all know what it is. It's Magic 101.3.
I love it. And y'all know how to catch the Thaunties. Here we are. Here's our socials. Like, subscribe, share. Tell a friend to tell a friend. It's free to share our posts. Hook us up. Shout out to our sponsors and our production assistant, because he and Tiara made sure that we had food today. Made sure we had all of our equipment out and ready to go. Shout out to Rise and Shine Mobile Services.
All right.
Yes.
Give the
if you need
spiel.
a ride to any event, home, work, or school, call Rise and Shine Mobile Services.
They'll hook you up.
We'll hook you up.
Until next time.
Bye. Bye, loves.